So good morning, Ms. Hanson and Ms. Milankovich. I am Rudy Rain and this is Ashley Delane, and we are certified mediators and have been trained to hear disputes such as the one that is here before us today. Our purpose here today is to act as mediators in this case and to assist you in the resolution of the dispute that brings us to the table. Let me begin by stating that I am not here to represent either side or any particular position. I will not express partiality or take sides during this process. My goal is to assist each of you in reaching an acceptable settlement of this matter. I have no power to impose a decision on you or to decide how this matter should be settled. In a mediation session, I ask of you to verify you will willingly accept the opportunity to participate so that you are both comfortable with each other's good intentions. I will have you sign agreements to participate in this process. Please sign it. Confidentiality is a critical part of the process. Generally, if you tell me something in private and ask me to keep it confidential, I am bound by law not to disclose this information voluntarily. Having said that, I want you to please remember the facts that were discoverable before the mediation session and do not become confidential merely because they were presented during the mediation conference. It is only those things you say or write in confidence to me during the mediation that I will not disclose. Does that sound fair? Does that sound good? Okay.
Well, before we begin, let me explain the procedure we will use. When I complete these preliminary statements, each of you will have the opportunity to make an uninterrupted opening statement to describe the problem as you see it. First, I will ask Ms. Milankovich to make an uninterrupted opening statement. When you have completed your opening remarks, I will then ask Ms. Hanson to make an uninterrupted opening statement. After that, we will transition to a joint session centering on possible solutions. I ask that each of you be thinking of how you might like to resolve this matter. When you reach an agreement, it will be written and each of you will be asked to verify and sign it. I will also sign it as a witness. Each of you will be provided with a copy of the agreement today. At this time, please turn off all cell phones, pagers, and electronic devices. Let me once again congratulate you for being here today to try to work this out. Your presence here today demonstrates your willingness to attempt cooperative problem solving. Are there any questions at this point? No. Well, if not, let's proceed with Ms. Milankovich's opening statement.
Okay, so I live in a very fine home. We share, there's over 200 other homes and we share a common pool. And there is restrictions upon it. And one issue, several issues that I have is that Ms. Hanson has a daughter and another student, a young man that lives with them, and they attend the pool and without Ms. Hanson, and it's violating the rules. And you know, it states that within the membership that you are supposed to be accompanied by somebody that lives in the house. They have to be, that's within the rules. And if not, if you don't pay, you know, it's just very frustrating to me because, you know, if you wanted him to be there by himself, you'd have to pay a certain fee. You know, nobody else. I don't have family members that just go over there and do whatever they want. You know, we have to follow a certain standard. I believe that we definitely have to follow the rules here, and we're operating outside the rules, and Ms. Hanson is breaking all the rules, and it's just very unfair.
We actually always follow the rules.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to...
Not following the rules.
Sorry, this is her opening statement, so don't worry. You will have the chance to, you know, say everything you want to say, and that'll be later. But
Okay.
so, just please do not interrupt.
Yeah, so I feel like they're giving special privileges because her daughter is friends with the manager, and it's just very frustrating because they're breaking the rules. You know, you have to pay certain fees, and you're not allowed to do that, and they're doing that. And I don't know what they think or why they have these special privileges, but it's not fair. It's not right. And you know, if I were to have somebody, one of my family members or one of my friends, go out to the pool, I would make them pay the fine, and they do not pay the fines. And, you know, you would have to add them onto our association, our membership, and they're not. And I feel like it's very unfair. It's very rude, and I don't agree with that. So it's very frustrating to see.
Okay. Is that all you want to say for your opening statement?
Yes.
Okay, so, no, Ms. Hanson, you have the turn.
Well, my family and I have been longtime residents at this community. And actually, we respect the homeowners association and the community and everybody in it. We've actually helped the association hire staff, and we've been involved in projects with them. So we honestly do really respect the community and the managers who work so hard to keep the community a safe place. So although both of my children aren't living with me anymore, they're adults, they moved. We've actually brought in an 18-year-old student from Croatia who is coming to this country to, better his education. And so this student of ours, he's going to be living with us for 2 years. And he is a member of the household. We've adopted him to come and live with us and, have a better future for him. So we do consider him one of our own. And also when it comes to my daughter, although she doesn't live at home anymore, she still is a coach at the pool for like a little kids swim team, and she's also the lifeguard. So it is only fair that she's allowed to be in the pool because she's an employee, so she should have that benefit. And although sometimes we do let our exchange student swim, and sometimes we accompany him. We do stay with him, but we don't feel like we always have to be there with him while he's swimming, and he's an adult. He can go on his own. He doesn't always want to be with us, so we feel like he should be able to, since he's a member of the household. What I didn't like was Miss Milankovic's letter that she sent to us. It was just a hateful, rude, completely it was ridiculous things she was saying about our family and mocking us, and again saying how we're going against the rules and all this stuff. It was just so ridiculous, her letter that was sent to us. Me and my family didn't appreciate that at all. Again, my thing is, the student that's living with us and is going to be living with us for a while should be able to do whatever he wants, since he is a member of this house. And we think it's fair. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Milankovic, from your point of view, how long has this been occurring?
It's been occurring ever since that he came to the house, and I don't agree with anything that Ms. Hanson has to say, because if she thinks that he can just go to the pool, then she should be talking to the managers, not me, because those are within the rules. So those are the rules of all the households, and I don't believe that my letter was too aggressive or anything, but because if you feel that he can just go to the pool whenever he wants, that's not right. And
But why wouldn't that be right?
Because those are within the rules. So I don't know. You shouldn't be asking me, but he should be following the rules. And the rules state that he has to be accompanied by the main member of the household, which is you. And he's not. And that makes sense that he's Croatian, because they all just take advantage and think that they can do whatever they want. And
okay, see, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So we shouldn't be, offensive to anyone, and this includes, pointing out the race, because it's not what we're here for. We're here to communicate effectively and talk about the issue. So.
And again, Ms. Hanson, it seems like you have a lot of great things to say, and I want to get to it all. So if you could just write it down and write down all that you have to say, and then when it's your turn again, we'll get to it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I just. I'd like to follow the rules, and I think that establishes order. And when other members break it, I don't feel that that's right. There's plenty of other rules that can be broken, and it's just nobody else does that. And East Hampton's the only one in that neighborhood out of over 200 homes that does that. And I feel like he's just taking advantage of the association, and it's not right. And just because that I know you contributed to, the homeowners association and everything, and your daughter works for them and such, but there still are rules, and if you don't agree with those rules, then that should be taken up with the managers. But I believe that those rules shouldn't be broken. So I'm really strongly against that. I don't think that that's right.
Okay, well, Ms. Milankovich, can you help me out for a second? Are you actually a part of the homeowners association board?
I am not. I am not a part of it. So I don't know what they think about people are breaking the rules, but I do know that I have like the handbook, and I know the rules that you are supposed to follow, and that's one of the rules.
So what I'm getting is what mostly is upsetting you about the situation is the violation of the rules in the homeowners association agreement, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's just because they have special relationships with the managers and whatnot, that they're just being privileged, and it's not right because nobody else is.
So you believe that they're taking advantage over certain benefits that are accrued to them.
And I don't think that's right.
You think this is unjust?
Yes, I think that they should purchase, if they don't want him to go to the pool whenever, then fine, you just need to purchase the additional memberships, but he's not a member.
Okay, and what does privilege mean to you?
Privilege means that he's attending the pool unoccupied by a member, meaning that nobody else is saying anything, and everybody else just lets it go. But I think that they're just in fear of ever confronting them or something, because nothing's happening. And I feel like it's because of their special relationship with the managers, and I don't think that's right at all. Very strongly against that. So. Because I don't have friends that go over there and go into the pool and go swimming and just say that, oh, I'm with Ms. Milankovich. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't cross the rules like that. I believe that's completely unfair. It's not right. And you have to, in order to establish a good community and be fair with one another, you have to follow the rules, and the rules are being broken.
So equality is a great thing. It's important to you. All things should be equal in order to establish a community that works effectively and efficiently, correct?
Yes, because if people start breaking the rules, it causes tension, and I feel like maybe I'm not as good as them or something, just creates a lot of animosity and just unwanted feelings, because I don't feel like the rest of us are being treated fairly when somebody else is, being able to do whatever they want. And I think that's very unfair.
So now the individual membership is an issue
Yes.
for what you're saying. So what other issues do you think can arise from, having him not having a membership? Do you have other fears, maybe?
Yes, that's just the beginning of it, if you start to go to, the swimming pool, what else are you going to start doing, I don't even know, I don't agree with having to go to the pool, and then, that you're going to get the other privileges that us members have to pay for, we have to pay for things, and I don't believe that that's right.
Just to help further my understanding, so each member has to pay homeowners association fees, that lives in the household, or how does this exactly work? How are the fees being dispersed?
Okay, well, the main member of the household
Of the
pays all
household?
fees, yes. And if you can pay for additional family members or anybody that lives with you in order to have the same access that us members get,
Okay.
the gyms and parking spaces and the pool, and just certain privileges within the community. And there's a fine for that.
Okay, so you're saying that the main member of the household pays the overall fee, and then if there are other people living in the house, do they want access to the amenities offered? There's also an additional fee they have to pay for them to be allowed access.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, otherwise, they have to be accompanied, and that's okay. Yeah, you can.
So
go, you can-
if the fees aren't paid, the extra fees for other members, they can just be accompanied and still use the amenities.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because, if you're a company, then that's perfectly fine, because, I pay the fees. If I wanted to take my friend to the pool with me for a day, that's fine, that's following the rules because they're with me. But if they try to go without me, no, I would never do that. So that's why I don't think that that's fair, because I don't let my friends go out there and do whatever they want. Go use the gym or, do other things such as that, because that's what the members pay for.
Do you feel that you're being equally respected by all members of the homeowners association?
No, that's one of my main issues, that I don't feel that I'm being equally respected. I think that, they're being privileged. It's unsettling. It doesn't make me feel right, and I don't like that. And I'm sure it makes other people feel the same way, because they don't break the rules and just let anybody do whatever they want.
Do you,
Probably.
sorry, do you feel like this could also be a safety issue of some sort? Can you please elaborate on how maybe that may be the case? If you do feel as if.
Yeah, it's not that it is actually, because I don't know this Croatian boy, and I don't feel safe, because he's not a member. He just recently moved into this household and then just started doing whatever he wants. Like, I don't know what's next. I don't feel comfortable next to somebody like that. I don't know him. I don't, if I wanted to go to the pool, I want to be able to, because he's there and he's unaccompanied. He just goes there whenever he wants, and he's not even a member, and that makes me feel like really weird. So I don't go to the pool whenever he's there, and it's just.
So I feel like
interesting.
this tight-knit community should stay between members. That's what you're saying.
Right.
And in order to ensure safety and that this trend doesn't, continue happening, this is why you're, this is why you're here,
Exactly.
to convey that message.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's
I
what
don't-
I think that you're trying to.
Yeah, because I don't want. I think that's why this is a membership. If you wanted something that was free, you go to live in some apartment that allowed that, but we don't allow that, so. We are memberships only, and that's the part of living in these houses. It's just, everybody accepts that except for Ms. Hanson, and I don't understand why.
Okay, so Ms. Hanson, what are your other concerns, if you have any?
Well, my thing is that, okay, so he is a member of the household, so he, should be able to do whatever it is everyone in the member can do. I think Ms. Malkovich is just, I don't know, she's upset that the student is with us, or she just doesn't, I don't know, like Croatian people or something, because I don't see any problem with that at all. He's a student. He's an 18-year-old kid. Like, she acts as if it's like bringing in a stranger. He's going to be living with us for 2 years. So the other thing is, I don't think Ms. Malkovich realizes how much my husband and I have helped the homeowners association. We maybe the reason why she feels like we're getting more privileges than her is because she doesn't realize like what we've done for the community. We've donated a lot of our time, a lot of our money for this community, so we can have this nice area like the park and the gym and the pool and all that. So maybe we are getting a little extra privilege because of that, but I think it's only fair that we should get, this type of privilege because of how much we've helped. And my daughter should be allowed to swim because she's, the coach and the lifeguard, and she's an employee. She should be able to get benefits like swim in the pool she works at. I don't see why that's an issue.
And your daughter no longer lives with you, correct? Yeah.
No, but she lives in a neighboring community, like 5 minutes away. Yeah, she's an adult. She's 25 years old. She doesn't.
So you feel from all the extra work that you've done, you believe that at least you should be given a little bit of leeway in this sort of situation?
Yeah, I guess. But again, like I feel like we're not really getting any extra privilege. Maybe she thinks that, but it's really just he's just swimming in our pool because he's part of our family.
And our memberships, can someone please explain how memberships work for this sort of?
Well,
Is it a family package thing or is it like an individual?
well, my understanding of it, which I think I know a little more than Ms. Malkovich, is that every member in the household is able to use, they are members, so they're able to use any of the
Amenities?
yes, and in the community, like the pool and the gym and all that. So, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it's supposed to be.
So I'm getting that you're saying that to live in the community, once these fees are paid for per household, whoever lives in the household should be able or is allowed to use the amenities offered.
Yes.
No.
That's what you're saying?
No, you have to pay the fees, and then it goes to the main people of the household. So that like the two, it's usually like the husband and wife or whatever. But you can't just let all your kids go. They have to, if they're over 18, they have to pay as if they are adults. So
But if they're under 18, do they still get access to the amenities? Or
they do if they're accompanied.
if they're accompanied,
Mm-hmm.
as long as if they're accompanied.
Yeah. So if they're accompanied, they can. But and if he is accompanied, he can. But he's not accompanied, then he goes by himself and he goes.
Is there a certain age limit to the company?
Yes, you have to, I mean, you have to be accompanied at least by a 12-year-old or older within the household.
Okay, that actually lives in the household.
But your children are older and,
Well, I just also want to point out that sometimes we do accompany the student. So, I mean, it's not like he's constantly there every day without anybody.
But not all the time.
Not all the time, you know. I mean, we're not always going to be following him.
Can you please explain, or how many times have you probably seen this boy alone? Do you see it's,
oh,
do you
all the
think
time.
do you think it's the majority of the time? Or?
Yeah, the majority of the
Yeah.
time by far. I see him all the time. And I don't know him, I don't like this person, I don't trust him. And he's there all the time.
You say you don't like this person?
Yes, I don't know.
What makes you
Yeah,
have
there
that
should be no
assumption?
reason not to
Well-
like him. And I think it's probably Miss Malkovich has her own reasons for getting him for some reason.
He
So,
gives me-
Ms. Milankovich, what are your reasons for not liking or not feeling safe or comfortable around?
Because, well, first of all, he's not a member, and he's there all the time by himself, and, you know, he acts as if he just, owns the pool or whatever. So I, for one, feel like I can't even go to the pool because he's not a member, I can't, you know, I don't want to socialize with him or talk with him because why should I? He doesn't pay to go there, but I have to pay, I don't understand that. And that frustrates me a lot, and I don't trust the person, I don't like him because he doesn't follow the rules, he doesn't care, and he doesn't know, apparently, you know, how it's supposed to be, but it's not supposed to be like this.
So I feel like you think he's taking advantage over certain benefits that don't really pertain to him, is what you're trying to say. So are there any other behaviors that might, put you off from this boy? Because
No,
you did say you don't want to be affiliated with him in any way.
Yeah, not at all. He
You
does
see-
give me dirty looks, and I don't know, his background, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's, just, I don't know. I just don't know his background, and I don't trust him, I don't like him, and I don't even want him at the pool, but if he wants to be at the pool, then fine, I won't talk to him or anything, but he has to pay.
So, do you not trust him, like him, or feel safe by him because he's not paying these fees? So, if the fees were paid for, then you would feel safe around him or in trust?
Yeah, I mean, I'd feel a little safer to know that he was actually a member of the association, not just breaking all these rules and coming in.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so I'm getting that the main issue here is that he's not a member of the association, that he's not paying fees, and therefore is using the amenities without actually paying for them, and that is the reason why you don't feel safe.
Yeah, because Miss Hanson doesn't follow the rules. She's operating outside the rules. That's not right, I understand her and I hear that she does contribute, but that doesn't mean anything, If I were to contribute, does that mean I don't have to pay anymore?
Well, there should be no reason for her not to feel safe around him. I mean, just because, whatever, he's not paying for the fee or whatever, I mean, I think that's just, she's using it as an excuse, to be honest. I feel like her and her family don't like this student for some reason. It's more than the money and membership and stuff like that.
Gosh, I don't know, but I know that I know that you're all operating outside the rules, and I don't know, their background or his background or anything. I don't know.
So if you could, since he will be living with you for 2 years, why do you think it should be? Why do you think he should be continued to use the pool? Why do you think?
Well, I mean, again, like
What kind of things would make Ms. Milankovic believe this kid isn't? He's just a kid.
I mean, well, again, like we're taking him in as one of our own. So, I mean, he's basically going to be our child for 2 years. I mean, he's not a child, but I mean, he's a member of the household, like a member of the family. So it's not right for him to come. We welcome him into our home, into our country, and say that he's not allowed to, use any of the stuff because our neighbors don't like him. It's just like, why should we have to cater to Ms. Milankovic and her family's, anger towards us? It's just, I don't know. I don't see it making any sense at all. And then the letter on top of that was just like really ridiculous. I feel like I deserve an apology from that letter because it was just so out of context.
So you feel her reaction was overly aggressive?
Yes, definitely. It was over the top. I mean, all the work that my husband and I do for the Homeowners Association and for the community, I feel like that letter was just ridiculous to be sent to me, and I didn't appreciate it at all.
Can you explain more on exactly what the letter said to you and how you felt about it?
Yeah, basically just Ms. Milankovic was just going off on how, this student or whoever this guy is coming into our pool and our community acting like he owns the place and blah, 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 all just this rude stuff, and then bringing up my daughter and how she shouldn't be able to use the pool. But it's like, who are they to be in our business like that? I feel like Ms. Milankovic is just constantly staring at like our family and like watching over us, see what we're doing when they should be, minding their own business, basically.
So, do you feel that this letter was disrespectful to you?
Yes, completely. I feel so disrespected from the letter she sent.
So, can you define what respect means to you and what needs to happen for you to be respected?
I mean, just not getting that letter in general would have been just so much better because that's how ridiculous and rude it was. I feel like if Ms. Milankovic just came up to me in person and talked to me respectfully, and by respect I mean just like using kind words and just, I mean, she didn't have to go off on the letter like insulting us, our family, and our student that we brought in, my daughter. So I mean, just being fair, I feel like.
So you feel that face-to-face communication in the future will be a little bit more effective?
I mean, yeah, better than like not only
You would prefer that?
Yeah, not only face-to-face communication, but just honestly using kinder words. Like her letter was just full of negative words and like not thinking of my point of view. It was just like her point of view.
Right.
So yeah, she needs to be like thinking of other people's thoughts and feelings too.
Well, it seems like you guys both have a need for respect here, and that we both need to be respected in our own ways, and we kind of have an agreement on what respect is, right? I think. I mean, you feel that respect is having someone that can talk to you openly, handedly, respectfully, and nicely, or in a nice tone, and you feel that in order for you to be respected, that things need to be followed in the guidelines and in the law, and that things need to be followed in a manner that is respectful to you and the community. And to be respectful to you and the community, that means all members have to be respected, right? Ms. Milankovic, since this incident first occurred, have you tried to make an effort, or have you tried to, has there been any communication that's been had between the both of you outside of this mediation session?
No, there hasn't been any communication with Ms. Hanson and I, because I believe I don't need to talk to them about anything. That's why I decided to write her letter because I don't want to associate with them. I don't want to talk to that Croatian student because I don't trust them. And, you know, if they're operating outside the rules, you know, I just don't trust the family in general, and especially the Croatian student because, you know, my family and my traditional background is we have a long history with Croatians, and, you know, my entire family was persecuted by the Ustashi, which is the during the Croatian Revolution. And, you know, I just have this big, you know, distance, and like, that's why I don't trust or like the student because he's Croatian, and I'm sorry, but he's also not operating behind the rules, and that's why I feel like I don't want to ever, you know, have to communicate with her. I want her to be able to follow the rules and all, and she's operating outside of the rules, and they both are, and yeah, that's why I don't want to really communicate with them in general.
So have you tried or have you addressed your concerns with the HOA board?
I have.
So-
I did say that they are operating outside the rules, and that, you know, that they need to.
So just so I understand, you haven't actually had communication with Ms. Hansen other than the letter, but
Right.
you have had communication with the board about your concerns with the Croatian student and the daughter's swimming pool, correct? Okay.
Yeah. And with them operating outside the rules, it's just, you know, that's the main issue. I don't agree with that at all.
So you received her letter. You
Yes.
felt offended. Did you care to respond? Did you send her a letter
Yeah,
back?
because it was just so insulting that I ended up just responding with a letter back to her.
And how did you feel with that response? What were your feelings, emotions, reflections on that?
I felt that the response was pointless because, you know, she hasn't changed their behavior, and nothing has happened since then, and nothing is going to happen until we establish that she quits breaking the rules, and that's what I feel. I feel like they need to, you know, quit operating outside the rules, and until then, I do not want to communicate with them, and I just feel that they're being privileged, and it's not right. Nobody else is being given the same privileges as that. Nobody else is having different family members or students or whatever running around, going to the pool without being accompanied by the main person of the household.
So what I'm getting at is with this response from your letter, and basically she reassured, or she's basically stating the same things as before. You might feel that you're ignored in your
Exactly. I
in
feel
your
like
position, I guess.
yes, I feel like I'm being ignored because nothing has changed, and that's what I implied during the letter, that, you know, she needs to follow the rules, but she doesn't care. You know, she has a special relationship with the manager, and, you know, that just allows her to break all the rules or whatever, and so, you know, nothing's changed from that. Nothing's changed from my letter. It doesn't matter what I say. Okay.
So you feel ignored, right? And in order for you not to feel ignored, what would need to happen? What is going on that makes you feel ignored?
What's going on is that makes me feel ignored is that, you know, they're just continuing to have that special relationship with the manager and being privileged, and that's why I feel like I'm being ignored, because they're just pushing away, you know, my concerns, and just going about what they have been doing and allowing him to go and occupy it. And I don't think that that's right. It's unfair.
So what I'm getting at is that you feel that you're not being listened to, and that what you have to say doesn't matter because nothing's being done, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. There's nothing being done. That's why we don't have any communication, because nothing's going to change. You know, I've talked to like I said, I've talked to the homeowners association. I've sent her a letter. Nothing's happening, and I don't understand why. I don't understand if we have to pay all these fees, and why are there rules if they're just, you know, not even being taken into consideration when, you know, the Croatian student goes out and does whatever he wants.
So we've talked about how we've defined respect for both of you, right? Well, there's also the safety issue, right? So you don't feel safe because he's going around doing whatever, and basically he doesn't have to. This is how I feel that you're saying. You feel like he can do whatever he wants without, you know, penalty because he's not paying for a membership, and then you feel that your family as a whole are being, I guess, like someone's being acted on I guess, since this Croatian boy is part of your family, you don't want him dealing with aggressive behavior or, just getting good
Yeah,
grades or
exactly. I
whatnot.
feel like he should, be respected, just like if I had a member if I had my kids here or anything like that, Every member in the community should be respected, and I think Ms. Milankovic has her own, hate towards him without even knowing who he is, and I think she's just, because of his background, she's gonna hate him no matter what, so, I think that's just an excuse.
Even if it is an excuse, he should still follow the rules. He's still operating outside the rules, and that's the main issue. And that's
Well, I think Ms. Milankovic is misinformed of the rules because, she keeps saying all these rules, but I don't think she fully understands the rules. So association membership goes by household, not just each person in the house.
Exactly.
So I think she's really confused with that.
No, I'm not confused. It says here, the association's bylaws read, guests must be accompanied by an association member who is at least 12 years old or in the 7th grade. He's not an association member. He's a guest at your house, and he is not being accompanied. So that's operating outside the rules.
Okay, but he's allowed to be at the pool. He's
As
just,
long as
you're
he's
saying he has to be accompanied,
But
but he's actually a member of the family now. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not just a visitor, he's staying, he has a room, we have a room for him. He's gonna be here for 2 years, we're gonna celebrate holidays together, you know what I mean? Like, he's not just a random person living with us for a few weeks and then leaving.
You feel because he's staying for a long term. So
Yeah.
can you further elaborate on what your interpretation of the guidelines are?
Well, my interpretation is that, every member of the household is able to, because we pay for the fee, each house pays for the fee, they're allowed to do whatever they want, unaccompanied. They don't have to be accompanied by, I think that's the main thing. She thinks that someone has to watch him as if he's, a criminal or something, which he's not. But, he doesn't have to be accompanied because he's a member of the community.
So if I understand correct, your main point is that he will be living with you long term. He is a member of your household,
Yes.
and therefore he should be able to abide by the homeowners association guidelines, and therefore should be allowed to use the amenities. Correct?
Yes.
Because he is a member of your household.
Yeah.
He will be a member of your household.
He should be allowed to use it. Not only that, he should be allowed to use it on his own.
On his own.
Yeah.
So you believe that he isn't a guest because he's going to be,
Yeah,
in
he's
your house
definitely
for
not a guest. He's
2 years?
Yeah, he's just, even though he is not biologically our child, but we're
Yeah.
taking him in as our own, so.
So, for Mrs. Milankovic, can you explain to me the definition of guest for you?
well, he's not an association member. He's not. He's clearly not an association member, and that's why he is not. That's why he's considered a guest, because he is not a part of the membership. He doesn't have a membership. He's not. He goes to the pool and that's it. He's very new to this, and he's not a member. And if he wants to be a member, you have to pay an extensive fine for that, on top of what you already pay.
Ms. Hanson, if you don't mind me asking, how long has it been since your kids have been outside of the house?
Well, they're 25 now. They've left home at 23. So
Okay.
for 2 years.
Okay, and so when they were living, stating with what Ms. Milankovic is saying about the extra fees that have to be paid for members in the household, were you aware of this, and or were you paying these fees when your children were living in the house?
Yeah, I was paying the fees. I was paying everything that I needed to pay for.
You clearly, you used to pay for your daughter, and that's why he needs to be paid for as well. If he's gonna be, put into your family, then, he has to pay the additional memberships. And, or be accompanied by you at all times.
Well, I don't understand why her and her family have to be into our business. First of all, how does she even know we're not paying for it? That's my thing. Is it really that concerned? I think it goes more into that. I think you just don't want this student to be with us? Because why do you care so much about our family and what we're doing?
Because I
And what
feel
we're
like you're
paying
being
for.
privileged, just because you know that you're so close with the managers, I feel like the family's being privileged and it's unfair. You shouldn't get, all these like special privileges that other people have to pay for.
So just to make sure, Ms. Hanson, you're saying that you are not currently paying for the Croatian boy?
No, we're not.
You're not.
I mean, he's been here for a month, so we haven't even like established anything about this. I mean, he's going through so much, we're going through so much, bringing him in. We haven't really thought about, I mean, again, me and my family do so much for the board and all that. I mean, and we're members of the board and the committee and stuff, so, I mean, yeah, it just hasn't come to my mind yet.
So in the past, have any other problems arisen, or have any other problems happened based with the homeowners association board and other neighbors involving you?
No,
Anything else
not
happened
at
in the
all.
past?
Nothing's ever,
So,
neighbors have complained.
This is a first time issue that's going on right now within the homeowners association board. And
Exactly, and it's because Ms. Malkovich here, for some reason, doesn't like this student that we have. Because none of nothing's been happening before. I mean, everything's been really nice and calm. So, and again, we're longtime neighbors. We've been here for years, so. I mean,
And Ms. Hanson, or Ms. Malkovich, you state that you feel that the Hanson family is being privileged, correct?
Yeah, because the reason I don't, trust the student or Miss Hanson and their family is because they are operating outside the rules. And that's why I feel like they are being privileged.
Right.
And
Because
that's-
nobody is saying anything.
Yeah, and that's why you feel like you can't trust them, because they're not operating through the rules.
Right.
With the rules.
And Ms. Hanson, do you feel that your family and yourself are being privileged by the homeowners association?
I wouldn't call it really privileged. I mean, I just say that since we help the association so much, like a lot of stuff that's been happening in our communities because of us, and I don't think Ms. Malkovich is aware of like all the work we've done and put into.
So you feel that because you've done all this, you deserve?
I mean, yeah, wouldn't anybody
Better-
feel they deserve a little extra credit for like putting into work, donating time and money?
So
I'm not saying I should have the whole pool myself or, no one else should use it, but I mean, this kid's only been here for a month and he's swum like by himself like a few times. Is it really that big of a deal?
Well, that's why I'm just trying to make this understanding. Even though I understand that you're saying that you put in a lot of work in the community and that you and your family have given a lot back, you're saying that because of that, it shouldn't be that big of a deal,
Yeah,
regardless of what the guidelines may say?
yeah. She should mind her own business, I think. I mean, I feel like since I'm in the committee, like we know more than her, so I mean, and I think she's just either frustrated that he's here or jealousy. I don't know. There's other reasons to it. I mean,
Well, if he plans on being here for years, I think it's time to start operating within the rules and to start paying that fee.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, do you trust the homeowners association board?
yes.
You do. But Ms. Malkovich, you feel that you can't trust them because you feel that they're giving them things that they shouldn't be, or that they're allowing extra things to be done to the Hanson family which are not being given to you. So
Yeah.
you have a mistrust with the homeowners association board.
Yes, right now I have mistrust.
Okay, so rewinding back, you said something earlier that so a main issue for you is trust. And you said something about that you and your family have a long history with Croatians and that you were previously persecuted by Croatians, right?
They're my family.
Right. So does that play a factor in your safety or trust with the boy because he is Croatian?
That does play a factor, and that does maybe help influence the reason that I would feel like she shouldn't be so privileged.
That's just
Not
ridiculous.
to
Now
take.
she's being racist. I mean, that was years ago, whatever. That was the past. I mean, that's obviously he's not going to come and start attacking her or doing something like that. Like, he's a student. He's just going to school.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't have to pay.
Well, I mean, if this is how you feel, that's just how you feel. I'm just trying to make it known or understand that what you're feeling is understood. So this is an issue for you. And the boy is 18 years old, right? And how long ago was your family persecuted by Croatians, or do you know the date, or how long ago in history was this?
It was during World War II.
Okay, so
it was
do you feel that this boy personally will affect you in your life in any way?
no.
No. So even though he is Croatian, you don't actually feel that he will have an effect on you and or your family living in this community.
Right, I don't. I was just stating, my background, but I just, I don't feel like that, he's not gonna like hurt me or anything like that, but, I just wanted to make clear,
So putting aside his race, being Croatian, you feel that he still needs to pay this fee.
Right.
And if the fee is paid, then you would feel safe and you would trust.
Yeah, I would have a little more trust in the homeowners association and the community I live for, and I just feel like it's very unjust for people not to be speaking up about, people that operate without the, outside the rules. And I know it may seem silly to some and it may not to others, but I don't agree with it, and I don't like feeling that, others are being privileged and others are not.
So just to make this clear, the fact that he is Croatian isn't a factor as to why as to why probably Ms. Hansen believes that you're being hostile towards, their family, correct? Is this correct?
Correct.
You
It's
just-
also to me.
You just feel that it doesn't matter where he's from, it's just that if he wants to use the amenities for from the neighbors, then he has to pay for the membership, correct?
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's part of it?
That's part of it, but it also means that I don't, that's why I don't have the trust to want to go and communicate with him. So
Because he's not paying the fees.
Because he's not paying the fees. A little bit of his background, maybe I don't. Because I feel like he's being privileged. So
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure that we all understand here that you're saying that even though he is Croatian, the main important part here today is that he is not paying the fees, and that is what's bothering you, not really the fact that he's Croatian. So just so that you know, and that therefore, Ms. Hansen, the hostilities that you have about her and her family possibly being biased toward his race can't stop.
Well, I thought that was the case, so.
Okay, so now we know that you're not personally
Prosecuting him because he's Croatian.
right.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, it's definitely not, just solely based off that. It's just, I feel like everyone should follow the rules. And it would help create, maybe a better communication if people did. Maybe I would be able to talk to them. Maybe feel more comfortable in talking to them. But when I feel like other people are being privileged over others, it makes me not want to.
This idea of communication, having effective communication, seems very important. And what I've interpreted from this conversation that we've had here today, that it's not just a miscommunication between you two, there's also a miscommunication with the actual homeowners association board and members of the community. Am I right? Because if you feel that you can't trust the homeowners association board to view your own opinions and take into consideration what you say, then that means there's a communication problem.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
In the future, how do you think communication can be better so that things aren't, taken the wrong way?
How can we
We don't want that
establish
happening.
effective communication?
With what I believe, I feel like I can have effective communication when, I've said it several times, just when everybody is treated equally, and then once everybody's treated equally, yes, I will speak with Ms. Hansen and, if there's any other issue, but until then, I don't see any reason that I have to speak with her.
Okay. And so, Ms. Hansen, what are your views and how do you think we can establish effective communication, not only between you two, but in the community with the homeowners association board?
Well, I mean, my definition of good communication definitely doesn't involve a rude letter. I mean, and I still really feel like I deserve an apology for that letter. But anyways, I think that good communication is just actually like just speaking physically to each other, you know, not just this.
So face to face.
Face to face, yeah, and just not this like using respectful words, I guess. Yeah, and I don't know, I just think that Miss Malkovich was really in the wrong for doing that to me, for the letter, the rude letter. That's definitely not my idea of good communication.
Yeah, and we'll, you know, we definitely have different, you know, perspectives on how effective communication should go, but that's why I sent the letter, because I just don't feel that we are being treated equally.
So,
But did it have to be so nasty and rude?
do you, Miss Milankovich, do you feel that the letter was, do you feel that you purposely sent the letter out to be rude or nasty to Miss Hansen?
No, I didn't purposely, you know, mean to be rude or seem like I was attacking. I just wanted to make it clear that, because nobody else was saying anything, so that's why I decided to say
But
that.
I feel like she
Send
could
that
have
letter.
done it in a different way. I mean, really, like.
Okay, so what I've gathered is that you did not personally mean to hurt and or offend Miss Hansen, correct?
Correct.
And you only sent the letter because you felt that your needs weren't being addressed and that there was nothing that you could do to communicate them face to face. So the letter had to be sent in the way that it was in order to get not a response, but in order to have some sort of communication between the both of you.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it wasn't meant to be negative, or you weren't trying to be rude to Miss Hansen.
No, I was just trying to establish that, you know, maybe help her understand that, you know, people should follow the rules when they should follow the homeowners association guidelines. Something like that.
So maybe you were thinking that since this was your last chance, perhaps maybe there was a hint of disparity in the letter, maybe? Perhaps.
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
that's why she took it so hostile.
Yeah, I mean, because
Could
nobody
that be
else
a
was,
factor?
nobody else was saying anything, so I felt like I had to stick up for the communities.
So yeah, you just did what you felt was necessary.
Right.
So in hindsight, in the future, we already established that, you know, effective communication, would you agree that effective communication doesn't have to have nasty words or anything like that?
Mhm.
Any hostility?
Yes, I agree. I apologize that the letter did come off aggressively, but I didn't intend it to come that way. I was just, you know, I just wanted to be treated equally.
Right. So the main point is that it was not intended for. Okay, and Ms. Hansen, just to make sure I'm correct, what are your actual needs here in this situation?
Well, I mean, pretty much, well, one of them was already met. I mean, I really wanted the apology from the letter because I just did not, you know, appreciate that at all. And thank you for your apology. Pretty much other needs of mine are that the student that's with me right now is entitled to swim unaccompanied at the pool, you know, whenever he likes. Whether I will pay in the future or not, I mean, he should be able to be alone. Like, he doesn't have to have somebody with him. He's not a child anymore. He's independent. That's why he came to this country to study, and he wants to be independent. And also, my daughter should be allowed to swim there too. I mean, I don't know if that was, she brought that up before, that she wasn't allowed to or whatnot, but I mean, she, you know, she's an employee of the pool. She should be able to swim where she works.
So, relating back to your daughter, we haven't really spoken about her. She's 25, correct?
25, yes.
And you claimed earlier that she is a lifeguard of the pool, and she also runs some sort of swimming class or
Swim
camp
team,
or swim team, whatever.
Yeah, she's a coach at the first.
But at that same pool?
At the same pool, yeah. She's an employee at the pool, lifeguard and coach.
Okay.
Okay, so
And Miss Malkovich doesn't know like the rules that applies to her. You know, she just thinks that she's swimming in there
For free.
For free, just because I live there, but that's not the case. She's an employee at the pool, so.
So, Ms. Milankovich, did you know that her daughter was an actual employee of the pool and actually has business in the pool pertaining to her lifeguard duties and
No, I wasn't aware that she, worked as an employee for the pool. I just knew that they were both being unaccompanied by Ms. Hanson.
So, Ms. Hanson, are there any benefits that come included with being a swim coach? Is she like?
Yeah, of course, she's allowed to, I mean,
Number of
that's the rule,
benefits.
she's allowed to, I mean, she's there to, even when she's a lifeguard, she has to save the people, she has to go in the water.
Right.
Maybe Ms. Milankovich saw my daughter in the water, maybe she was, I don't know, saving someone, and she thought that she was just swimming for free, I mean.
But what about when she's not working? Is she?
Yeah, she's allowed.
She's allowed to go back into the
It's
pool?
her job, she's allowed to, I mean, she wouldn't, she's a busy girl, she wouldn't be, I mean, trying to get in for free or anything like that, she's allowed to do
Right.
that. I mean, Ms. Milankovich isn't aware of her life and her benefits of the
So-
site, so.
Sorry, so since she works there, she has full privilege of the pool whenever
Yes.
whenever she
Full
can
privilege.
go
She
use
can
it.
swim whenever she wants to.
Okay.
So,
because her swim is of course in relation to her job.
yeah, lifeguard and coach.
And she can use that.
Personal time, whatever, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
As defined in the guidelines.
Yeah, and she can check it, or she can, if she really cares that much, she can go check and see it, or ask her, or whatever, that's the rules.
So then, Ms. Milankovich, is that still a pressing issue to you, even though now that we know that her daughter's 25 and that she actually is an employee of the pool, and in the guidelines it's written for her out in the homeowner association that she's allowed to spend time in the pool? Is that still a
Is that still-
concern of yours?
No, that issue has, definitely been addressed now that she has said that. I didn't know that she was an employee or anything. That makes sense for her, and that's good. That was definitely one of my concerns, but, the main concern is still with the Croatian student that goes unaccompanied. And that's fine if he's gonna go accompanied with Mrs. Hanson's daughter or just with somebody, that's fine. But if he's gonna go out by himself and he's gonna be here for the next 2 years, I do believe that he should be paying for an additional membership. But, Miss Hanson's daughter, she can do it. I didn't know that. Since she's an employee, yeah, she should be allowed to swim there. But as far as the Croatian student goes,
So now we've basically narrowed down the issue to just the Croatian boy not paying a membership fee. And for you, you shouldn't be paying a membership fee because you feel like he's part of the family.
Yes.
You said that he came a month ago.
Yeah.
So were
He's
you?
only been here for a month.
Okay, so were you going to? When would you start thinking of paying for
I mean-
membership? If you ever did think of.
Well,
starting
I
to pay for
definitely have thought about it. Like, I'm not trying to, get my way through everything and cheat people and all that. Like, I care about this community. I will, I just don't want to be rushed and don't want to be stared at and be criticized for not doing. I don't want anyone to think that, I'm just trying to, I'm being cheap and all that. I'm willing to pay, yes, the fee. I don't want to get away with this, I get it that she feels like, the community is being or the homeowners association is just trying to cater to me and my family, but I mean, yeah, I'm willing to pay in the future. Let's just say that. The fee, it's really not that big of a deal. But he should be able, I do pay for the fee, he should be able to be unaccompanied. I mean, that's my thing, because he is a member of the household. So I'm not going to pay this fee and have him still be criticized for not being with a 7th grader and older.
So what I'm gathering that you're saying is that it really is not a big concern to you about the fee. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
It really isn't. I honestly think it's the way Ms. Malkovich handled it that affected me more, I think, than the fact that she thinks I'm not paying for the fee. It's just, like I said before, at work I'm the committee member of the Homeowners Association.
So you are a member of the association. I feel that there is a miscommunication and a not full reflection of the actual guidelines within the homeowners association. I feel like it's miscommunicated between members of the community and the actual board. So would there be any way possible that you could actually have a conversation with them and work on possibly thoroughly more defining what the rules are in the mediation or in
The meeting?
in the homeowners association meeting and see exactly what's going on so that therefore in the future there isn't this miscommunication on rules and or guidelines?
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, we can talk to them anytime we want, and I think that, you're right, that is probably the
I feel
best
like that's-
option, because we, obviously the rules are being established here.
Right.
And we're not understanding them, so.
I think that's the main issue at hand. There's a problem in the rules, and therefore, because of the problem in the rules, there's a miscommunication between the two.
But just to recap, so you were trying to, so your needs, you wanted an apology. You got that from
Yes.
Ms. Milagovic. We've addressed that your daughter is in fact allowed to swim in the pool and use those amenities because she's an employee there, and you also agreed to pay membership for the Croatian boy in the future, right? So that he will be allowed to use those certain benefits. Yeah. And that, in turn, that also covers your needs as well. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Or are there any other things that you...
No, that definitely addresses all of it, that, everybody's operating within the rules and it doesn't make me feel so, so distant that people are being privileged. But I definitely think that that meeting with the homeowners association should clear some things up. And
Yeah.
that should, reestablish some more rules.
I think it would benefit everyone, because, clearly the rules are just not being understood.
Because ultimately, we want everyone to feel respected. We want everything to be equal, and we want everyone to feel safe and have trust in the membership and with the board. And I feel that conversation should definitely take place, because if you do feel that you're not being listened to, or that your feelings are not being addressed, then that's not fair for you. So then a conversation like that should take place.
Yeah.
So just to make sure that we're all on the same page, if you pay the fees for the Croatian boy, he'll be able to use them in these unaccompanied, and then that will satisfy your trust and safety needs, correct?
Yes.
So I think have we reached an agreement today?
Yes.
So you both can agree on this, and possibly in the future we can have effective communication between the both of you instead of having to always come to mediation to resolve issues present.
Yes, I agree.
As long as we respect each other and come to each other and talk face to face, and then everything should be fine.
Yes.
Right.
So does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So we should sign.
Right. The agreement. And at the end of this mediation session, you guys both will get copies of the agreement. So. And then here are your copies. And ultimately, I would like to thank both of you guys for coming out today.
Congratulations for coming here and resolving this issue and, talking and communicating with
In
them.
an effective manner, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Just do
Debrief. How did we do? This is group 5.
So this is group 5, yeah.
You guys did really good at mediating. You really did. This one definitely.
It's a step up from the last one.
Definitely.
Big step up.
So many questions that were just, it was constant questions. There was no dull moment, and that's how it's supposed to be. And I think we learned a lot from the last time that we were in class. You both did really good.
That's exactly what helped us. Because if we did not have that class, if I didn't come to class that day
Yeah.
for that practice mediation,
Yeah. I think
Totally.
like you both addressed everyone's feelings and all that and their thoughts and stuff really well. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Because normally in mediation, like our practices would take half an hour,
Right.
and we just doubled that. That's like,
Yeah.
that's pretty huge for us.
Yeah.
So if anything, we should get a pat on the back. No, I think we should. We should get a pat on the back for like
Yeah.
improving for that.
Yeah, we really
No.
did.
I'm pretty sure you'll find a lot of things that need to work on,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I think
For us, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
Getting better.
like my main struggle in the past mediations was, I think, trying to reiterate what exactly the parties were feeling. I just like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you feel the way, okay, let's go, move on.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like we actually like reflected,
Reflected a
we used
lot.
iMessages, and we like, so you feel this,
Yeah.
and I'm understanding that you're saying this. And-
I think the
that even repeating that just helps us.
Yeah.
Right, and then
Understand.
therefore, like, there's no miscommunication with you guys, and you know, like, she's not trying to
Yeah.
purposely.
I think the bit about the Croatian, like the background and all that, I think that totally worked.
Yeah.
Because you said, okay, well, you know, your beef with the Croatian people was way back when. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this guy's another different
Yeah,
person, and then you were able to like disassociate
Yeah.
that.
And that was the goal of
That
it.
was
So I didn't
perfect.
want you to feel as if,
Yeah. She was mad at us for
Right.
him
Yeah.
That was
and
perfect. I
his
like
race
that.
and all that. Yeah, that was good.
I think that was the most effective thing
Yeah.
in mediation.
Do you guys think we need to work on anything? Was it?
Well, I mean, we're guinea pigs, so
Yeah.
for the next one, I'm pretty sure you guys will do a good job.
yeah, I'm confident.
Yeah.
We'll be extra difficult.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
I'm
Sure
ready.
you
Yeah. I'm ready to like get up and like hit her. Okay.
We'll see, we'll fight
Oh,
first.
actually, you beat me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's group
Yeah,
5,
group
and yay, we're done.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, orange.